Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome back to the story time with Mr. Kepke. Hope that you guys had a wonderful day at school today, and I hope this book says a lot to you this evening. Sit back, relax, and I hope that you are snuggled in, ready for a good night's sleep. How Full Is Your Bucket by Tom Rath and Mary Rickmeyer. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "I'm big. Stay back, you'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Thwack! Anna got mad and she knocked it down. Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you even notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go." "Anna, sit still." Some of y'all can relate. Moms are very busy in the morning when they're trying to get the kids ready. Felix slipped and cocoa wheats scattered across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mom. "You should have used a stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean up this mess before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. Are you catching on to what the bucket resembles? Are you catching on to why the bucket is actually becoming empty? All of a sudden, Felix is standing near his friends. "Psst, Felix, psst." Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumplinickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. Drop, plop, drop, plink. The Giganosaurus who wanted a pet. By me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Drop team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Drop. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. So now you see that invisible bucket above his head is actually filling back up now. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, he looked around. Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Drop, drop, let me help you. Drop, here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Hi, I'm Felix. Is this your first day? Yes. I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" And so they did. That is the end of our story this evening. How full is your bucket? The bucket represents our own feelings, represents how we feel each day, our mind, our mindset. And the drops represent good things that happen to us. And when our bucket is empty, it's when we're just having a bad day. And I guess my challenge to each of you is that you fill each other's bucket, that you don't empty somebody else's bucket, that you fill it each and every day. I love each of you very much, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful night.